of Samuel. Samuel 14 and 14. 2 Samuel 14 and 14. 2 Samuel 14 and 14. Trying to switch mics here. I don't want to switch it to it's on. All right. 2 Samuel 14 and 14. For we will surely die and become like water spilled on the ground, which cannot be gathered up again. We will surely die and become like water spilled on the ground, which cannot be gathered up again. I want to talk to you tonight about water spilled on the ground. Would you say those words after me, please? Water, spilled on the ground. Now an exciting scenario surrounds the words that I've spoken to you on tonight. But for the sake of time, I just want to focus. I don't want to tell you anything about the setting, about the environment in which these words were spoken. I just want to focus on the words, water spilled on the ground, which cannot be gathered up again. Now, water is the most abundant of the earth's resources. It covers approximately 70% of the surface of our globe. But water is also one of the most essential and valuable resources. All forms of animal and vegetable life depend on water for their survival. Were there no water, very soon there would be no life. The waters of the earth cool the earth and prevent it from overheating. The saltiness of the ocean prevents and controls putrefaction, provides purified vapors which return to the earth in the form of refreshing rain. Water makes it possible for all forms of animal and vegetable life to maintain their fluid balances, and thus they're able to survive. And in most modern and developed countries, water is taken for granted. Primary function of municipal and county governments is to assure and provide a pure and adequate supply of water to the citizens of that area. So we can walk in the kitchen and turn the knob and out flows water. But in ancient days, and even in certain parts of the world today, life revolves around a quest for water. I visited places where people have to walk for miles just to get water. And in certain parts of the world today, people are dying for lack of water. So ancient men were much more aware, and people in dry, remote, and undeveloped places are much more aware of the need for water than most of us today. And I'm told that one of the great tragedies of the future will be a global shortage of pure, wholesome water. Global warming and pollution will result in a diminishing of drinkable water, and the generations of those days will wish that we of this day had been more careful in our management of the resources of the earth. God said that we should replenish the earth and not to deplete the earth. And so the text that I've read to you on tonight evokes the image of scarcity and extreme need. Why else would the thought of gathering spilled water ever even come to mind if water was not scarce and there was not a situation of extreme need? In my mind, I see a thirsty, tired traveler in a remote desert place, under the blazing heat of the sun, famished and tired, and he had just a little water in a water bag, and he takes the water bag down from his shoulder and opens it and lifts it toward his lips. And as he lifts it toward his lips, the water bag splits open and all the water falls out on the ground. When water is absorbed into the soil, it cannot be gathered up again. It is lost permanently. Whatever purpose the man had in mind for the water is thwarted and foiled. The thirst that it would have met has to go unsatisfied and unsatiated. Strength and vitality and even the life that the water would have provided ebbs away, and ultimately all is lost. Water is just as important now as it ever was, and we must not allow its accessibility to hide from us its increasing scarcity, its necessity, and its value. Other important resources of our earth are diminishing also, not just our water, our pure air, our oil, the life in our seas and lakes and rivers, our trees and our tropical rainforests, forests are also diminishing. And once they're lost, it's going to be impossible to recover them again. But may I also suggest that there are many other entities that on a personal level are very, very valuable to us. When was the last time you made a list of the things that are most valuable to you, most important to you? Look at your neighbor and say, you need a list of most valuable things. Well, let's work on the list. Life is valuable. Amen. Health is valuable. God is valuable. Salvation, valuable. God's will, God's plan for your life, valuable. Peace and happiness, you can't buy them, but they are valuable. Your spouse, your husband, your wife is valuable. Your family, your children, your home, where you live is valuable. Your time is that a pretty good list?
Here it is, DC. Get up on your feet. The song says our God is. Our God is mighty. Our God is mighty. Reigns in